وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. We will only have, my dear brothers, what we made effort for. What we made effort for. I was asked to speak about the fact that those who are tested with a hardship, prisoners or children or orphans, they of course have their own reward, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. It was so beautiful when the brother was singing. I wish he was singing and I wasn't speaking. But when he was singing, I thought, you have this moment and you have this feeling in your heart, wallahi, this is a beautiful deen and beautiful ummah. There is nothing like this deen and nothing like this ummah. We are a people, there is no one like us, subhanAllah. That is not a cause of pride or arrogance, but it's something that should move us towards action. The last song the brother sang was about love, wasn't it? It's about loving Allah. My dear brothers, think about this, just think. How is it that Allah loves you? It's easy to say we love Allah. It's something else when Allah loves you. It's easy to say that I am this. It's something else when Allah says you're that. It's easy to say that I love Islam or I am a follower of Nabi Sallam. It's something else that Nabi Sallam would recognize you as his follower. We want to be of those who, we know Allah is qareeb, Allah is close, but who is Allah close to is a different issue. If you want Allah to love you, the hadith says, مَا تَقَرَّبَ إِلَيَّ عَبْدِي بِشَيْءٍ. My servant does not draw close to me by anything except what I have made obligatory upon him. And increases to draw closer to me بِالنَّوَافِلْ حَتَّى أُحِبُّهُ, by the voluntary acts of worship until I love that person. You want Allah to help you, you go the 5% extra distance, my dear brothers. If you want to be like the brother saying about those who Allah loves, then we must go the extra mile, we must take the extra step. The ayah that Murtaza quoted was, وَمَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي السَّقَرِ. What was your maslak? It's not, why are you in hell? It's saying, what was your maslak? What was the road that you took, the steps that you took, that landed you in the hellfire? What was the path that you trotted on that landed you in the hellfire? قالوا, and they say, لَمْ نَكُمْ مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ وَلَمْ نَكُمْ نُطْعِمُ الْمِسْكِينَ. We were not of those who used to pray, and nor were we of those who used to feed the poor. Right? That's a path that they've taken. Unlike the path of Hajar alayhi salam, unlike the path of others like her, who spent in Allah's cause, who made effort for His sake. And that's what we must do in this time, my dear brothers. What happens to a people Allah tests? And it's not just about being an orphan. Even though, look at this, my dear brothers, the verse, the ayah, the surah in the Quran is Surah Duha. But before Allah begins, Allah takes two oaths. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. Now the Mufassirin say about these ayatain, that وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى are two calm periods. The duha is the bright early morning. And the layl إِذَا سَجَى is the night when it's still. It's not a gloomy night. It's not like a forsaken night. It's in fact a still night. And one of the commentators say this is like the orphan. This is like the life of an orphan. His life is just still. He's waiting for who? For daddy's return. His life is still. His life is a life of contemplation. His life is a life of reflection. He's thinking, what on earth happened to me? Unlike what happened to other people. How come they have this but I don't have that? وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا دَعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Your Lord has not forsaken you, and nor does He scorn you. And Allah says, indeed, the akhir, the last part of your life is better than the ula, better than the first part. And Allah says, أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ. Did your Lord not find you ضَالًا فَهَدَى? You were lost in the way, and Allah guided you. You were yatiman fa'awa. You were an orphan, and Allah gave you shelter. You were a'ilan fa'aghna. You were poor, and Allah enriched you. So what's the resolution then? Allah is reminding us, my dear brothers, and reminding Him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you were this before Allah made you that. You were this before Allah made you that. So now that you're in a good situation, what should you do? فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. As for the one who is an orphan, never repel him. Never repel the orphan. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. And as for the one who asks you, do not be a nahar, and do not be a river unto the one who asks you. What does a river do? A river pushes out, pushes away. Allah says, you had it so easy, you had it so good because Allah gave you. Now don't turn away. Be shakir, be shakur, be grateful to Allah by now giving and spending in Allah's cause. That's what a believer does. The one who is tested by Allah, what does Allah do? Man yuridullah bi khairin yusib minhu, in one hadith, whoever Allah desires good for someone, He tests him. إِذَا أَحَبَّ اللَّهُ قَوْمًا ابْتَلَاهُمْ. If Allah loves a people, He tests them. In one hadith by Imam Tabarani, إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لا يكون له عند الله المنزلة فلا يبلغها بعمل حتى فما يزال يبتليه بما يكره. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests a person. In the rajul, indeed a man, he has a certain manzil, he has a position with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he cannot reach by way of his actions. So Allah gives him tests so that he will reach that position. His actions can't take him to that position, so Allah will test him in his body, in his wealth, in his family, in his children, so that he can reach to that position. It's a blessing in disguise, my dear brothers. It's a blessing in disguise. This is why Allah says, وَذِكْرَى لِلْعَابِدِينَ, and it's a reminder for those who worship. My dear brothers, we are approaching the month of competition. The month in which Allah sees who can outdo who can be the best of the best. And I'll end with one narration, because I know the brother's standing, so that's like my warning sign. With one narration, isn't it? It's true. With one narration. You know, when he had died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Abu Bakr became Khalifa, and then he died, radiallahu anhu, and Umar became Khalifa, radiallahu anhu, there was an entourage of Sahaba who went to see Umar ibn Khattab. Amongst them were the first comers, the early people, the slaves, the weak, like Bilal, radiallahu anhu, and those people, the as-sabiqun al-awwalun min al-muhajirin wal-ansar, the first of the first. And amongst them were the latecomers like Abu Sufyan and others amongst them. They were latecomers, but they all came together as a group of Sahaba, radiallahu jami'an. They all came. They knocked on the door of Sayyidina Umar, and he opened the door. And when he saw each people, his eyes became fixed on the eyes of Bilal, radiallahu anhu, and he saw him, and he ushered him and his group in. The group of the weak ones, the group of the first comers, the first of the first, he brought those Sahaba in, come inside. And when Abu Sufyan and his entourage, who were the noble men of Quraysh, saw that, they said, "Oh Umar, you have disrespected us. You've disrespected us because we thought, you would give us some position, and we are men of Quraysh and leaders of Quraysh and this and that." And so one of the leaders from that group, he said these words. He said, "Listen, إن كنتم غضابا فأغضبوا على أنفسكم. دع القوم ودعيتم فأسرعوا وأبطأتم." If you are angry, then be angry only with yourself. They were called to Islam like you were called to Islam, and they were quick in responding and you were slow in responding. The day that we're in stands as a hujjah for us or against, as a proof for us or against us. We heard the reminder, we saw the video, we heard the brother speak. It's a proof for us or it's a proof against us. إِنَّمَا النَّاسِ مُبْتَلًا وَمُعَافًا فَارْحَمُوا أَهْلَ الْبَلَاءِ رَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْعَافِيَةِ. Like in the Muslim Imam Malik said, Isa alayhi salam says that إِنَّمَا النَّاسِ, people are either those who have ibtila, either those who are tested, or they are those who have afiyah. They're just preserved. They're fine. The bodies are fine. The mind is wandering wherever it goes because it's comfortable. Either you're one who is tested by Allah, or you're someone who is preserved by Allah. So what do you do then? فَارْحَمُوا أَهْلَ الْبَلَاءِ. Have mercy with the people of suffering and tribulation and hardship. And thank and praise Allah for your afiyah. Thank and praise Allah for your afiyah. وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. And one of the mufassirin, and maybe others have said, وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. As for the ni'mah Allah has given you, فَحَدِّثْ, and speak about it, includes wealth. Includes the ni'mah of wealth. Allah has given you it, spend it. Let people see that you're spending it in Allah's cause. And so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward the brothers of Hhugs and to reward everyone who will contribute. And of course we already have, but may we contribute more and give in Allah's cause. And may Allah give us strength and istiqamah in these times, and make our work, the work of the brothers, and our collective work as an ummah, a productive work. And may we be of those who hold fast to this religion in these testing times. May we not be of those who sell out, who lose our deen along the